It actually happened on his watch. My daughter called me, and now when I look back, I'm like, I believe that's the night that it happened. She called me hysterical, like, Mama, come get me. I want to leave. I don't want to stay here. I don't want to sleep here. And I'm like, well, baby, what's wrong? Like, I'm trying to think. Did somebody hurt you? Did somebody say? Not thinking him. Mind.
They went to law enforcement. They went to the police. They went to have this investigated. And the authorities, who are professionals, couldn't do anything with anything that they said. So what is it that you think social media can do with these stories? What do you think social media can do with this information? Why make it public? Why sell these stories for money? Especially knowing your father's in prison and they will kill him over something like this. People get killed when they are tagged with being a molester of their children. And you can't substantiate this. You have nothing to corroborate this with. And it's too much reasonable doubt. Why would you do this? You two are starting to sound like the Jay-Z Jane Doe, who the girl that dropped her off died, the father don't remember picking her up, and the Madden brothers were out of town.
Y'all finished or y'all done? I ain't got no more talking.
Was this version of events in the TV show? Somebody leave a comment. Was this version in the TV show that her and Joann did? Why didn't they put this new version in the TV show? That would have been more money. She called her mother screaming. The mother frantically tried to get her. The police said, don't go in the house. Was that in the scripted TV show that they did? This version has more drama, more excitement. They could have got way more money. Was this version in the original? Somebody leave a comment. Whatever that TV show they did a couple of months ago that aired. You were divorced in 2009. You said the police told you don't go over there because he had a right to shoot you. That means you weren't still married to him. Otherwise, you could have gone in the house. So you were divorced. That means Joann was not 8 or 9. She was 12 or 13. You said she held on to this for years and told you when she was a teenager. Well, if she was 12 or 13, she was already a teenager. You guys didn't get your story straight. Joann's version, we could excuse with she was a child, she doesn't remember, she's traumatized, she has mental illness. There's a lot we can excuse. Your version of the story doesn't match what she said. If she was 8 or 9, the year was 2006, 2007. If you were not allowed to go in that house, that meant you were divorced. That means it happened after 2009. She was already a teenager. You said she held on to it for years until she was a teenager, she told you. But if it was after 2009, she was already a teenager. So one of those is a lie. If it happened in 06, 07, you were still living in the house. She should have been in her bedroom or in your bedroom with the other 2 children. And if she got sleepy, she should have gone up to her room. So she says she was 8 or 9. That makes the year 2006 or 7. You're now saying you couldn't get on the property, which means it was 2000 after 2009 because your divorce was final. And once you're divorced, no, you can't go on this property. So by then she's a teenager. But you said it happened when she was a little girl. She held on it for years. Told you once she was a teenager. Both versions can't possibly be true. It couldn't have happened when she was 8 or 9. And it couldn't have happened after your divorce. Simultaneously. Because she would have been 13, 14 years old. You guys didn't get your story straight. And this is bullshit. Your daughter calls you in distress. Mom, come get me. You can't get on the property. You go to the police. They tell you don't go on the property. You finally get your daughter home, and you don't demand that she tell you what that call was about. Instead, years later, once she's a teenager, she finally tells you. Your story doesn't add up. It's got holes in it. There's holes in your story, boo. Your story does not add up, which then makes this look like you guys are playing games like Jane Doe did with Jay-Z. You believed he touched his daughter, and you showed up at his birthday party with your freakum dress on years after your daughter told you that he touched her, and you were trying to get him back. Your daughter calls you and says, Mommy, come get me. You don't say, I'll be outside in 20 minutes, run outside. You go to the police with others instead of going directly to the house to get your child. The police don't go with you to make sure that child is okay with a wellness check. It could have been a fire, it could have been robbers, but they did a wellness check on grown-ass Azriel and Joy. This is starting to sound like the Jay-Z, Jane Doe, Busby bullshit.